Hello, welcome back to the channel, welcome to Swiss Watch King. Today we're gonna review a watch which was, in my opinion, and also the amount of DMs I got, the most requested watch to review, apart from the Rolex Daytona in ceramic, which I promise you guys is gonna come in the near future. Today we're gonna talk about the famous overhyped watch. I'll explain to you why I think it's overhyped. The Patek Philippe Nautilus reference 5711. The amount of requests I received to review this watch is a lot, is huge. My channel is usually here to show you watches which you've never seen before. But I'm also a fan of very traditional watches and the watches I see all the time on social media. So let's start at the beginning. The Patek Philippe Nautilus. Many of you guys know the watch only since it blew up on social media in the last couple of years. But this watch was actually in existence since the year 1976. It was designed by Gerald Genta, a name synonymous with great design and iconic watches. He's also the designer of the Royal Oak and the IWC engineer, the Gerald Genta Universal Genève Pole Router, and many more watches. The 5711 is arguably one of the watches on the market which has the highest resale price. So this watch, if you're able to get it at a retailer or a Patek Philippe boutique, costs you about 27,000 Swiss francs in today's market. If you want to buy this watch in the secondary market though, this is where things get complicated. And I mean complicated, but I really mean pricey. This watch, the cheapest that I've seen it online, trades for around 51,000 US dollars, which is almost double the retail value, which is absurd in my opinion for a watch like this. The watch is beautifully made, don't get me wrong, and I really appreciate the legacy, the iconic appeal it has, and the design itself. But for 51,000 Swiss francs or dollars, you can get many watches with a higher degree of finishing and also a different style. But style and also finishing and also avant-garde design is not why you buy this watch. We can't ignore the fact that this watch is an iconic design, and the market always sets the price in business. And let's not forget, this watch is made by Patek Philippe, one of the best watchmakers out there, and also a company with its roots so deep in the Swiss watchmaking history that it's irreplaceable. And it's basically one of the biggest brands and brand names in watchmaking history so far. So like I said before, the watch was introduced in 1976, where it was introduced as the reference 3700, a slightly different version. Here I have the version 5711, 1A-011, which is basically just a description for the white dial. Most of you know this watch with the blue dial, blue and black, like a fume. That was the icon. And the white dial, for me personally, I prefer it because it looks a bit more youthful. The dial is very simple and iconic, and it's something that would be a sin to change. It is known for these horizontal lines, the Patek Philippe Geneva logo at 12 o'clock, the date window at 3 o'clock, and actually the hour markers are applied gold markers with lumen in it. Luminova is also something that the hour and the minute hand have. When we speak about iconic design, this watch is inspired by the porthole in a submarine. You see it has this round shape, a bit octagonal but rounded up, and has these so-called ears on the side, which are like a hinge to open the porthole. What these quote-unquote ears help is protect the crown here, which is a screw-down crown with the Patek Philippe logo on top of it. The case, because it's Patek Philippe, is meticulously made, as well as the bracelet, which is well known as well, of course. You have a different mix of polished parts on the bezel here, on the side as well, on the links itself in the middle, and you have your brushed bezel on top, and the ears are also polished and brushed from the sides. And the bracelet is vertically brushed downwards, which looks awesome. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this watch is an icon. It really embodies Patek, what is Patek today for most people. That is a bit unfortunate because prior to the Nautilus, Patek was known for its precious metal watches, round Calatravas, complications, chronographs. I mean, they made amazing watches, which they still do, but the Nautilus line kind of overshadowed it because lately, you know, in the last 10, 15 years maybe, but in the last couple of years even more, the appeal for sports luxury watches has grown immensely. And that's what also helped to the sky-high price of this model. What also makes this watch beautiful is the exhibition case back you can see. It has a beautifully finished movement, which is made in-house. It has a Patek Philippe seal, which is a hallmark for finishing and their own in-house standards of watchmaking. You know maybe the Geneva seal. So the Patek Philippe seal is something similar and they used to have it. But now because they have their Patek seal, it's, let's say, a higher standard than the Geneva seal itself. What you also notice on the movement is the different styles of finishing. You have your beautiful Geneva stripes running down the big part of the movement, the so-called the bridges. You have perlage under the balance wheel, and you also have the rotor, which is actually a 21 karat rotor made out of gold and has the Patek Philippe symbol. I think is the Calatrava cross engraved on it. As is known for Patek watches, usually, I think it's most of the time, they have no inscriptions on the case back, which is, I think, really cool because sometimes they're just too much and you really know which watch you have, so you don't have to read, you know, Patek Philippe on the bottom because you know which watch you have. What you also might notice is that the case is 40 millimeters in diameter and it's very thin. So this watch is actually 8.3 millimeters high, which is really cool because as a sports watch, it makes it really wearable. Usually at this stage of the video, I would put the watch on my wrist and show you how it fits me. I can do that now, but just it's slightly more difficult. This is my good friend's watch, and actually the links are a bit too short for my wrist. But you see, the size is very beautiful. It fits, it goes well under the cuff, and the watch, you can wear it on a suit, or you can wear it also jeans or like in a more chill environment. It's basically one of those watches which is like a chameleon. You can dress it up or you can also dress it down. If you have any questions about the Patek Philippe 5711, leave a comment down below. What I'm more curious about is to hear your opinion about the current hype in the market and also the high prices these watches achieve and if it's worth it. And on the side, as always, you have a picture of a watch we'll be reviewing next on the channel. If you know which watch this is, I know it's a bit more difficult because it's all black, leave a comment down below and maybe you'll guess it right this time. Thank you for watching and see you soon.